What is going on? What is going on? What is going on, party people? It is your boy, Coach D Brown, former big leaguer, former first round pick with the Kansas City Royals. And man, sorry I'm late. That's my bad. But I had been shaking and moving, man. But I had to chase down I'm taking it to the fam day. You know what I'm saying? I had to go back to the
Yeah,
fam, and
yeah.
I thought about this the other day. The reason I brought this guest on because I had to think back a couple of days ago. I had to really think back about how long ago did I really start trying to help get people into schools, right? And Javier, what's up, family? And I had to think about that, and I was like, it first started with this gentleman sitting right to me, when he was younger, and he was out there playing ball out there, and started in New York, and then high school in North Carolina. And I remember calling a couple coaches trying to, go into showcases with him when he was in high school. All right. And he ended up playing Division I baseball himself at HBCU, North Carolina A&T, and he's gonna tell you a little about it. But I figured with all of this recruiting stuff going on, showcase coming up this weekend, the showcases I'm doing, I'm on the other side now. You know what I'm saying? Instead of trying to get him, into these showcases, now I'm helping kids, fulfill, what I'm saying, their opportunities and stuff. So I wanted to bring on my nephew. My nephew Leighton is, aka Major League. All right, you're gonna find out what that background is about. But Coach G, what's up? So I wanted to bring on my nephew, man. This is my nephew worked hard up there in New York. He took a little break to come holler at his uncle, and I wanted to share his experience at playing at an HBCU, college baseball, Division I. We talk baseball all the time. He's been around baseball his whole life, messing with me in major league locker rooms when he was, before he can, I don't know, before he was a teenager. How old was you in your first major league locker room? Do you remember that, nephew?
Had to have been one of yours.
Yeah, but how old were you?
I
How
was
old were you?
I'd say probably I was in fifth grade, like 10, like 10,
All right.
11,
So,
around there.
all right. So
95,
since he was
96,
10, 11 years old, I had him in major league
yeah,
locker rooms. Anyway, long story
yeah.
short, we have Major League, aka Leighton Walcott, in the building, man. Leighton, what's going on with you today, man? How you doing, man?
Peace, peace. Yeah, I'm here. I just wanted to show some love and just let people know. I watch the show all the time. We talk all the time, but I just wanted to let people know. This guy, he really knows what he's talking about. He's very informative, and I've been soaking in knowledge, baseball knowledge, life outside the game knowledge, and this is my role model, literally. Since I was a little kid, I've been trying to walk like him, talk like him, to the point where people say I'm just like him. So, he's 7 years older than me, so it's like a big brother slash uncle. But yeah, good
No
people.
doubt about it, man. So, Elizabeth was good. Jeremy was good. Good. Look forward to seeing Jeremy and you guys out this weekend on Saturday, man. So the reason I brought my nephew on today, um, because I know that there's a lot of coaches, I'm gonna say parents, and that want the opportunity to play Division I baseball. And sometimes, like I said, it's been a while since my nephew played, but I had to really think about how proud I was to see him get an opportunity to play college baseball himself. You know what I'm saying? It's like you said, he's been around me and since he was a youngster and baseball and everything, and we talk baseball a lot. But I wanted to share his story, and it made me proud to have my own nephew attend college and an HBCU. So again, if you could, Leighton, go back to, give me a quick version of your baseball career and your story going into, Division I baseball at North Carolina A&T.
Sure, no problem. So yeah, quick background is I grew up in New York for in childhood, and running behind him. And basically, I loved all sports, but in fifth grade, he got drafted. I was in fifth grade. He got drafted first round to the Royals, and basically my life was just like I wanted to play baseball, and I really just took a lot of time, dedicated myself to really trying, to not only just be, like him, but make it to him to the level that he made it, because he excelled ever since he had got into the league. And so yeah, basically in high school I moved to North Carolina, and uh, you know, uh, from there it was like, where am I gonna go? He always told me, I don't know, I'm sure he's told you guys, he always stresses junior year is your most important year and everything. So by junior year, I was looking at a bunch of colleges, and then the way the HBCU came about was because I was told that a player who he said yesterday was actually going to be on the show. This was my year. Ricky Week was getting drafted from Southern University to a higher school. And I'm not gonna lie, this is around the time the movie Drumline came out. I was in Atlanta with him. We went to go see the movie, and it just really made me be just stuck, And being in North Carolina, I've been around a lot of HBCUs. So from going to different colleges, and just getting, I got a lot of letters. I had a lot of scouts coming out looking at me and stuff like that. But I at the time I had the mind state like I can really go to a HBCU and excel and still make it to the next level and still do what I'm supposed to do there. So I wound up going to, I didn't go to Southern. I wound up going to North Carolina A&T. Aggie Pride all day. That's what we do. One of the best experiences of my life. And being able to do that, being able to juggle that with class, with friends outside of baseball, with baseball, traveling, classes, study hall and stuff. It was a great experience, and it really taught me a lot about time management, the dedication it really takes to take it to the next level. We're dealing with things outside of the game of baseball, which I think is really important to a lot of, to the young and up and coming, because it's not only about the game, it's about the things you do outside the game. So yeah, I
Okay.
wound up at North Carolina A&T, and we wound up winning a championship out there. And long story short, I didn't have enough credits to play for the next year. Going into my next year, I had the grades. I didn't have enough credits though, and it was something on the guidance counselor at the school, and they told me they offered me to not to drop my scholarship for my next year, but then they would pick it up the next year. But unfortunately, life circumstances, I had to go out and work, so I couldn't just go straight to school. But I'm glad I did it. I wouldn't take anything back. Of course, I wish I would have did a lot of things different, or to get further. But you live and you learn. You live on a go. But I would never want to take any kids dream away, because it's definitely it's possible. You put in the work inside and outside, inside on the field and off the field. You can make something out of yourself.
Good deal, man. Gary Kurgel says, my son will play at Delaware State next year. How would you describe the benefits of attending an HBCU?
Well, I would say the benefits of attending HBCU, especially going to Delaware State, which is in the MEAC conference. I played in the MEAC conference. I've actually played at Delaware State, the college, a few times in my career. And the thing that I would say is you get to really, just be around, like African American people, as well as not only just be around African American people, you still have opportunity to play against these big time schools. When I was there, we played the Dukes, we played the Clemsons, we played the Wake Forests, those types of schools. So it's not like you're just going to be playing, HBCU schools. You play schools outside of your conference and stuff like that. So it's definitely the benefits are, you really just get to enjoy he'll be able to enjoy the college experience, the bands, just the whole everything that comes with the HBCU as far as the fraternity, sorority, just the life, and he's gonna have a lot of fun. It's a good school. I like that school, Delaware State. It was a real good school.
All right. My boy Russ wants me to post, but I can't post with this cell phone. So Russ wants me to post your full name, which I should have told you to do that. I didn't know you were gonna put Major League, but also the year you graduated, if at all. So if you could explain, you kind of did, you know what I'm saying? But
yeah,
if anything, this is so Mark, this is my nephew, man. He's out working right now. He'll tell you what he does right now. He's
So good,
literally
yeah,
yeah.
It's all
So if
good,
you could tell people what are you doing and where you located at now,
Okay, well, yeah. Well, now I work for the post office. I'm a mailman full time. I've been here for say about 13 years, and I'm in Brooklyn, New York. I live in the Bronx. Family from the Bronx. The North, Edgegat, 1520. Our family's from there, so I'm in New York City right now, and just working at the post office and just trying to further my career and be. I really want to get back involved with the game of baseball, when I get the opportunity to, but work schedule's crazy, selection year, so it's a little crazy out there.
It's cool. No doubt, Mark. Appreciate it, man. Yeah, that's my little dude, man. We all kind of got strong resemblance of each other.
Yeah.
But yeah, so Russ, I hope you answered your question. I definitely wanted to make sure that I remember when he was playing at the MEAC and the HBCU and nephew. I want to ask this, man, because what was your experience like when you went to school? Because that one time I remember it was the MEAC championship. I remember I was home and you were down in Florida. And I remember that was going to be my first time seeing you play in college. And I went to the field. I remember going to the field, and I remember looking at all these fields. And I was looking at them. I was like, "Is this the MEAC championship?" Because it looked like a normal. You had predominantly white. You know what I'm saying? A few, black kids and some Spanish kids. So it looked like a normal tournament. And I was thinking from an HBCU standpoint that, I was going to see mostly black kids. You know what I'm saying? But when I went there, I was surprised. And that's when I first started learning about the lack of participation from, young black kids, especially at the HBCU level, where other coaches were bringing in, minorities, which would be white kids and Spanish kids. So what was your experience like going to the HBCU? And I want to say, what was the numbers of your team, as far as the mix of, between white and black and all of that?
Right. Well, honestly, my school at the time, this was in 2004, 3, 4, and 5, and 6. It was literally half and half. My particular team, but most teams we played at the time, the Norfolk States, the Delaware States, and the FAMU's. It was pretty much predominantly. They might have had like 2 or 3, white players on their team at the time. But even for people who are white and they would want to go to HBCU, I can, definitely tell you from the people who was on my team, it was a great experience for them. It was a great experience for them. It wasn't, all about this or that. It was, especially with baseball, it was really just about, just embracing the culture of the HBCU, which all of them still to this day do, and, I still have a lot of great, good friends from when I played, and they could tell you the same thing. But it kind of threw me off when I first got there. But where my school was located in Greensboro, North Carolina, there was actually another University of Greensboro, University of North Carolina, Greensboro, which is UNCG, which was across the street. So, we kind of got to get the best of both worlds from those schools as well. So it wasn't like we was just there. This was my particular school, But my coach is actually white. He's actually been on the show. He coaches for Norfolk State now, I believe, right? Coach Shoemate, good coach and everything. And it was basically, my team was half and half, and then we had our Puerto Rican guy on the team. So, but everybody got along. It was great, and I know for a fact they had a great time. We all hung out together. We all partied. Everybody had their own cliques and crews, but for the most part, we all did everything together on the road, when we was traveling, and even when we was on campus.
Good deal, man.
So it was a great time.
I always wondered that dynamic. You know what I'm saying? And I've had a number of HBCU coaches, just like Coach Shoemate at Norfolk State, being on the show. But I just thought it was just a crazy dynamic at the HBCU. It was so diverse. You know what I'm saying? But time. And my boy Pierre says, shout out to my boy Pierre. Mark in Maryland was good. Like I said, Mark in Texas was good. All right, Clay, what's good? Bill, Jersey, what's up? Elizabeth, what's up? Jeremy, Tennessee, what's good? Javier in Florida, what's good? And I know we got people on the other pages, which I cannot see. Corey was good. ATL in the house. All right. We used to wear. He used to say, Pierre said we used to wear out North Carolina A&T back in the day. He played in. Shout out to my nephew Chad. He's in the building. All right.
What up, Chad?
So I wanted to kind of get back to. I remember when you was in high school, and I want to talk about the importance of grades because I remember. Again, now I understand, but back then I was really, I took you to the Georgia Tech camp, right? And Coach Hall was there then, he's still there now. And shout out to Barron, my boy Ben Radcliffe, just got drafted. He played at Georgia Tech for Coach Hall. And my nephew was there, and I mad at him because I thought that he didn't have the grades, but talk about, I know you sound like New York in the background, hardcore now, right? But
still Brooklyn, but still downtown Brooklyn out here. Yeah,
I got you. But my thing was, I want you to explain the importance of grades because you went to HBCU, which is great. You know what I'm saying, a D1 program, but that program, Georgia Tech wanted you too, but the grades aspect of it, you know what I'm saying? It was a different GPA, different SAT, ACT level, man. So talk about the importance of grades, man, for people listening in.
Well, the importance of grades is everything, like academics is going to take you, far. It's going to take you, where you need to go and everything, especially when it comes to trying to play college baseball. And also I'll give you guys a tidbit on that as well, which I learned in high school. The way it happens is if you're actually able and good enough to play in the major leagues, what they'll do is if you don't have the grades to get into a school, they might not take you before they'll take the other guy who already has a scholarship to a big Division I school. It's another school because they have options. So what they'll do is they'll think that, okay, this guy only has this option, so they might overlook you. I received letters from, major league teams and stuff as well. And, I'm sure, that had a major part to do with it as far as, not taking the next step with me because my grades weren't up to par at the time.
Right. And that's why I say, like, I'm no, my whole, up here. I'm no, I talked about this, my family or my daughter, I talk about my personal experiences and stuff like that. Of course I got this platform and I talk about, all the things you should do as far as hustling and all of that, but I always give examples of the things that I did wrong. You know what I'm saying? So, and then I always include my own family because, family is family, and it may be D played in the league and stuff, but my daughter makes mistakes. You know what I'm saying? My nephew, I was on him hard. He know how I felt about being, hard, and I cursed him out after that Georgia Tech, camp. We jotted home. I was so mad at him, but he still got into school. I give it to him. He still got into the D1 program, but because his grades were, I felt like if it could have been. He could have had an opportunity to go to a Power 5. Everything worked out fine, but things can happen. If
there's one thing I want to touch on too, real quick. Let me touch on one thing too. I also wanted to touch on the importance of for the kids and also for the parents. It's really important that if you have a kid and they have a dream and things like that it's good to push them, because, unfortunately, me.
I don't know if it's my microphone or your microphone. Something happened with the microphone.
With my microphone?
Now it's good. All right. It might be my side, but
it's good?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So, I just wanted to stress the importance of, if the kid has a dream or stuff like that, a lot of times, and my uncle DeMore, he'll tell you the furthest thing I ever do is give excuses. I wasn't raised like that. I wasn't raised by him like that. I wasn't raised by anybody. But I will tell you this, I'm not the, just let me go to school or I'm just going to mess up because I didn't take it serious. I took everything serious. I knew I had to do that to get to the next level. But, unfortunately, from, even relocating from New York to North Carolina, it was just really drastic for me, So, and I know speaking with him and his traveling teams, a lot of these kids, they have problems at home and stuff, They're dealing with things outside of the game, which you go back to talking about when I first came on about, dealing with things outside of the game. If I could have, did anything different, I would have definitely liked to just really just tell myself to continue to focus on this. But I had so much stuff going on, in the house, just trying to find my way in North Carolina. It was just so different for me. I didn't really know how to move out there. It was slow, and it just really, to where my focus wasn't in school, So I really want to stress to the kids, like whatever, you're going through, if you really believe in the dream, you got to, and I did everything I could at the time, and of course I could have did better, with my grades and stuff. But that played a pivotal role in where I was even placed as far as, which I'm glad I went to North Carolina A&T, I'm glad I went up there. But, also for the parents, it's just know that, a lot of things that go on if your kid has a dream, that could affect them on the sports field and in class and things like that too,
The microphone.
So I just wanted to.
And out. I don't know. Sound. I don't know. It's a muffled thing. Maybe because you keep.
It's muffled. Nah,
it's like every time. Yeah, it's good now.
Oh,
it's kind of static. It might be on my end, but yeah, you good. But I think people heard 90% of what you were saying, which is good. It's a good, and that's why I said, like, from a personal standpoint, like I said, my sister did her best. You know what I'm saying? It was tough. It was a tough, growing up, we a real family, you know what I mean? We have real issues.
Yeah.
I should say my nephew right here had real issues and stuff that he dealt with. And then it was my brother and I that really tried to be there for him as much as I could, traveling and stuff like that. So, it's again, he's never been in no trouble, working hard right now, providing for himself. So obviously he turned out okay. It could have went really another way, you know what I'm saying? So he did what he had to do, but I just want to make sure y'all know that again, he had a tough upbringing too. His uncle playing here and there, but it wasn't no cream and gravy for him in a house. You know what I'm saying? So
Russ, and I just wanted to stress that,
no doubt. Right? That was a great message. Nephew. So anyway, Russ says, maybe tell your uncle how special it is to go to college in North Carolina, go to schools and all types of schools, and how everything gets along, and explain to him the greatest homecoming on earth, GHOE. I've been there. I know. I went to his homecoming in 06.
He's been a homecoming. He's been a homecoming. Which A&T, they do have the best homecoming on earth, but just in the vicinity of Greensboro, like Greensboro has, I want to say 7 or 9 colleges in the city, from smaller colleges to big universities like us. UNC Greensboro, they have a small all-girls school. Bennett College, which is another school across the street. Guilford College. So I'm within a 5-minute radius of literally 5 or 6 colleges, and that's just Greensboro. You can go to Winston. You can go one way to Winston. There's another 3 schools out there. Wake Forest. You got Winston-Salem State. You can go the other way to, Burlington. You have Elon. You can go, and then you keep going down. You get to North Carolina. You get to, just the HBCUs out there, the big universities. It's a culture. College in North Carolina is a culture. Like,
I'm hoping that
like it used to be a joke, like, you're going to term.
I don't know what you just did, but it sounds a lot better.
What happened?
I don't know what you just did, but it sounds a lot better. Go ahead.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, it sounds good. Whatever you just did.
Hold on.
Mm-hmm. Can you hear me?
Hold on. Hold on.
All right. It sounds good, whatever you're doing, man.
Okay. You hear me?
Yeah. I've been hearing you, though. Can you hear me?
Hold on. My headpiece came out. Hold on.
Okay. Can you hear me? I know the fans can hear you. I know the listeners can hear you. You can't hear me? You hear me? You can't
Trying to
hear
get
me?
my headphones back.
Take them off the headphones.
What happened?
I said take off the headphones so so you can hear me because I can hear you. You can't hear me though, right?
Nah, I could barely hear you.
Okay. I don't know. I can hear you good. I could keep hearing you. I don't know what's up. So anyway, let me try to figure that. You know what I'm saying? Claire.
Hello?
I know that y'all can still hear me, right? And we're gonna have to deal with this thing. Every time a phone call, I hate this freaking phone. Oh gosh. So hold on one second. Let me try to get him back on here. Y'all be patient with me. Hold on 1 second. Sorry about that, ladies and gentlemen. I'm so sorry about that. I'm hopefully get my nephew. Let me see if he knocked off, but hopefully I'm gonna try to get him on back on here. But anyway, I wanted to kind of make it a family affair today. Sorry, we keep the patient. I don't know, it's this phone, man. Every time a phone call comes in and it don't work, but one of these days I'm gonna get a full-fledged studio and do it right. I'm speaking it into existence. All right, I'm gonna get a studio. I try to be in one town because I'm traveling, tomorrow and then Friday and going to another city. So, and then Monday I'll be traveling again. So, y'all just hang in there with me. All right. I got you. I got you. I got you in there. I got you in
Got me? I'm
there.
back.
Yeah, you good. You hear me?
Yeah, I hear you.
All right, cool, man. So yes, so I was just telling the people that I was sorry about because I had to cut my damn phone off and just cut them back on because sometimes when people call in, it kind of cuts off. So, but man, I know that I was just telling them some of the ideas and stuff. You and I talked earlier about certain things I got going with this podcast and where I'm trying to get this thing going. And um, I know that the information that I give, a lot of for my people that still on and listening. When I'm passionate and I talk, and especially when I'm talking to younger guys, uh, you know what I'm saying? Look who on right now, right? So out of all people, right? So, but when I'm passionate and I'll be talking about different things, my nephew could tell you, like, I've been like that with him. I'm passionate because I want young men to succeed, and he knows I've been like that from day one. You know what I'm saying, with him. So, what up? You know what I'm saying, DJ, what's good? What's good? So it's I want to see young dudes succeed. So my nephew tell you, like, I never pull punches, even when he's 14, 15, 16 coming up, and I had him with me. I wanted him to experience certain things in life, the good part, and also he been around me to see the down part, the failures, the you know um I remember the whole fam came to visit me the day I got released from my team. You know what I'm saying? Like, they flew in and they had to be around me to console me. You know what I'm saying? As I got released from the major leagues back in the day, man, it's real talk. Like, they've been through the ups and downs, with me. And so he's experienced the good things and hanging out at 15, 16 places he ain't need to be, and around people that he didn't need to be at 15 and 16. You know what I'm saying? but on the flip side, you know what I'm saying, he's also been, with me, man, on some really down times, you know what I'm saying, with this game. So Russ says, Major, what are you doing now? Unc needs some help and someone he can trust in his corner. Well, you already said, but
Well,
what go ahead.
we talk all the time, and he knows I'm in his corner. We just we got a few things. Actually, it's funny you mentioned that because we've been talking about doing a few things. As of this morning, we've been talking. Just ramping up and just getting this message out there to a lot more kids because if anybody knows, he knows you know he's got a lot of information. I mentioned it yesterday on the show where I've seen him after games. And just the most humblest dude, and it'll be a little kid come up to him and he'll sit there and talk for over an hour. We're hitting with just a little kid. He doesn't even know the kid from a hole in the wall. So he's always been very informative, and really just wanting to help people out, not only just on the field, but off the field, just really, really, good people. So I just want, and I always told him before he even was doing this, like, you're good at talking to people, you should reach out and and of course he's learning how to do it online. It's different from being in person and online, but I've not even just baseball. I've seen him sit there and just have conversations just with people he's never even met, and about life, about baseball, about just being where he was at and on his level, and just always was willing to talk to people. So yeah, we actually got a few things lined up, and hopefully we can get everything, together within this week and just push the message because it's more than a game. We talked about that. It's more than a game. Like what I keep reiterating from when I first came on and was saying it, it's more than just going on the field. That's important to go on the field and do, what you need to do for the sport that you love, and but it's the things outside of that that's going to help you get to that level as well, and that's really what I came on here to, push that point. He told you, like there's a lot of things I wish I could have did different, and it's the outside of the game stuff because I'll tell you, like I was so dedicated to the game of baseball. I would, when I was a kid, I had nobody to play with outside. I would take a tennis ball and literally just go outside and throw it against a brick wall with my glove and practice taking grounders, like thinking I'm playing on AstroTurf. Like, okay, if I'm playing on AstroTurf, the ball's gonna hop like this. So I was just, I was just really, really into it, and I want, a lot of kids to have that same focus, but also know it takes things outside of the game. parents as well. Just it's really good to let your kids know it's more than just the game, which is important. But if you have a dream and you want to chase that dream, you got to make that into reality. So everything is important along the way. Every consistency with everything is important along the way. You know.
All right, I love it.
So
Great message, man. DJ says the grind is a lifestyle, no doubt. DJ, all right. Otis says, "What's
but
up, Otis? I'm gonna talk to you, Otis. All right. Shout out to Newburgh, New York, Otis. I saw your message. I'm gonna holler at you, man. Otis, laying low. Otis is up in Newburgh, and I think he wants to start programming something up in Newburgh. And you went to middle school up there. It was South High, right? You went to
yeah,
South.
South Junior High in Newburgh, the city of
Yeah.
Newburgh. My
All
sister
right.
wound up
So
going to NFA. I left in ninth grade. She went in 10th grade. We in 10th grade I went to North Carolina, but I didn't. In upstate, middle school went 7th, 8th, and ninth grade. So I actually went to South Junior High for 3 years. And it was Newburgh was a trip. But
yeah, he
yeah.
was. But he shout out to Otis. I'll holler at you, man. But how was your experience playing baseball at A&T before and after? And he said, "Are you that nephew?" Yeah, that's him. Yeah.
The experience. Another thing I didn't get a chance to mention was, when I played before the season started, first time in my playing career, period, I had an injury. I had I tore my meniscus and my ACL. So, I was out for a significant time. I remember, when I'm supposed to be rehabbing, I'm in Chicago and with a with a brace on with my uncle, and but I really, it was my first injury, so I really was just trying to rush before the season started. And in the January, I got hurt, and I'll say late October, early November. So I had my surgery, around early December, and I really just was pushing, rushing, wound up, doing what I was doing before that was really good. I was working for me, and then starting to take advice from certain coaches about hitting that just messed everything up. And basically, I never got to really recover from trying to rush. I did wind up playing the first couple series, but I did, and I guess probably why we won that year, but I was one of the only two players to get hurt the whole year. So, me getting hurt, it really, but the actual experience of, being there, traveling, because I was such a big part of the team, just traveling with the team, and just experiencing, just being on the road, having to deal with classes, deal with girls, deal with just a lifestyle, because especially North Carolina A&T, it's a whole different lifestyle as far as the partying and everything. And another thing I would want to tell to all the kids is, like I told my younger brothers coming up, like, I don't care what you do, whatever you do the night before, whatever you do on your outside time, go to class, because going to class is going to take you a long way. There's been times I've been in classes just because I was in class. At the end of the semester, the teacher would give me a grade that I needed just because I was in class. When a lot of people, they get to college, they have that freedom, they don't want to go to class. So the one thing I really would want to stress too is, it doesn't matter, you can party, whatever, you could, whatever you do outside of class, outside when you finish your classes, when you finish your sports and everything, make sure you go to class. That's so important. You're required to, go to study hall, have a certain amount of hours of study hall. So my day was, we had classes early, and then we would have to go to our study hall, whatever amount of hours we wanted to do. Then we had a little time. We would practice for 2 hours, and then for another 2 hours after that, we would go lift weights. And after we would lift weights, we would go eat at the cafeteria. And then by then, we're just like tired. It's like really not much energy. But you're in college, you'll be young, so you'll muster up the energy to do other things like we did too. But like I said, it's just so important that kids know, with whatever school, A&T, whatever school you go to, just go to class. Just show up to class every day. Same way you're gonna have to show up to the baseball field every day. If when you make it to the next level, no matter what type of night you had before, no matter what you got going on outside, go to class. That's everything, because that teacher will change that grade, that C to a B, just because you've been present.
Mm,
That's
mm,
important. So
mm. That's a great message there. All right. All right. Clay says, great
thank
advice.
you.
All right. D Rob, what's up? Callie in the house. What's up? So, um, listen, man. I mean, that's a great message for obviously my my audience is mainly a lot of parents that have kids, man. So I know you don't have no kids now, and but you were not too far removed from the game, and parents listening in, I just want to let you know, um, obviously I had a large influence, but when I tell you the passion that this kid, my nephew had for the game, it was on a whole nother level, man. And it was sad to see obviously injuries and the baseball, thing, and that tells you something, man. Because again, I made it to the major leagues, but my own nephew had more passion for the game than I did, and he only got to a couple of years in college baseball. So that lets what I'm saying, that everything needs to be aligned perfectly. The stakes, and
Yeah.
because talent is talent. He always, and defensively, I used to always say this, he could run circles around me defensively at the same time. He had a good stroke, left-handed just like me, threw right-handed, but he never had my pop, but he couldn't hit like me. But he could definitely swing it and
I
and
had
throw the
Pop. Don't
ball.
listen to him.
All right, whatever. You know what I'm saying? But my point is, you can a lot of things need to shake for this whole thing to, what I'm saying, to even make it to the league and have a great career, or just to college. You know what I'm saying? It's you know things have to be aligned so much. So all you trying to do is just give your kid, or give, as a, personally, my nephew took it personally to give himself the best opportunity. Again, it could have went, he loved baseball. You know what I'm saying? I used to be like, when he was out there playing, I'd be on the field in high school. He out there, he wouldn't even be paying attention to my game, right? He'd be out there hitting and throwing with the whole crew, his whole crew out there. Mr. Perillo was on here too. So shout out to,
What's up, Mr. Perillo?
all right, so his son Danny Perillo was playing with Lane, and Danny Perillo has been a guest on the show as the head coach of LIU Brooklyn, and so shout out to Danny out there. But he
Shout
played
out to
with my
Danny.
nephew. Yeah, right. He slapped them around and everything. They were youngsters out there playing in the field, man. But my point is, you want to give every your kid the best options. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes the heart, the work that they put in, the love and the passion, and it still might not work for them. You know what I'm saying? But if the same type of motto and the same type of effort that it took for him to get on the field, it took a little whatever, but that's the same way he shows up for work every day, provides for himself, and is a man now. He's like, so that's the beauty of these sports. You know what I'm saying? They develop, because he
Yeah.
could have, he in my own family, he could have went other ways. You know what I'm saying? Very easily. You know what I'm saying? That's
Yeah.
what we've been around. You know what I'm saying? So he took upon himself to do what he had to do, man. So Leighton, man, I want to kind of, if you could kind of give us a little message, man, before I take us out. But I want you, I mean, you've been giving us nice knowledge, great knowledge and everything. But, I
Thank
want
you.
you to go back to the 15, 16-year-old, ball player coming up. Times are different now from when you know what I'm saying, but
Yeah.
again, what message would you have for that kid that has that passion that you had, and wants to make it, and like I said, you actually was in locker rooms and shaking hands with
Yeah.
Beltrons and Sweeneys and Bat Boys,
Yeah.
and they CC coming over to the
Sabathia's,
house
all of them.
and
Spring training.
partying
Yeah.
with major leaguers. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, you
Yeah.
was experiencing that type of stuff. You know what I'm saying? So
Hmm.
if you didn't experience that type of stuff, but you still had that passion, what give me that good advice, man.
Well, I would, the main thing, and maybe it's just me speaking it when I'm saying it, but the main thing I would want to tell people, especially if they have the same passion as me, which, of course, he's not giving himself enough credit real quick. If he had an uncle who made it to the major leagues when he was in fifth grade, and everybody was, of course, your favorite sport would be baseball too, But the advice that I would really give, and I really want to drive home the point is, you know, don't just, it's more than just baseball. Of course, you have to develop that passion if you want it, and you have to speak it into existence, but it's also outside of the game, that the intangibles outside of the game, whether it's grades, whether it's your time management, whether it's your friends you're hanging out with. It could even be, you could even be hanging with the wrong crew. And I've had plenty of guys who I played with who had the most potential in the world, but they hung out with the wrong crowd. They got caught up in the wrong crowd. Being 15, 16, that's easy to happen for anybody, hanging out with the wrong crowd. So you just got to really believe in yourself and in your dream and just keep the same type of energy around you and just pay attention to the things outside of the game that you have to do, whether it's grades, whether it's, like I said, the people you hang out with, whatever it is, whether the schools you pick, the reasons when you go and pick these colleges, don't just look at it for the name, do a little bit of it's a lot easier now to do research on the schools, see what type of program, whatever you're into, and just know that, baseball might not be what it is. So, you want to take that into college too. It's fun if you don't know what you want to do. I know people older than me who still don't know what to do. They don't know what they want to do with themselves, Um, but just, at that age, I really stress that it's important for you to know that it's not just about, it is about baseball. It is about the game, learning the techniques, just really sharpening your five tools. Whatever your five tools are that you're not as strong in, that's what you work on the most. For me, it was this or that, whether it was running. So, I would do everything I could to, just get my form right and do all of that type of stuff, just to take my speed to the next level. Whatever tool, that you're lacking in, or whatever you need more work on, you just want to sharpen all your tools and just be ready. Because even if you're not even playing, you might not even be playing. I've seen so many people not play and they still have that passion, that dream, but when they get called, their number called on, they rise to the occasion. So it's always about being ready and just taking care of what you have to outside of the game. That's the main thing I would tell for anybody who has that passion. Like I had at 15 and 16, just really just, out the things outside of the game is as important as with the game, and I don't think a lot of times people get to stress that.
No
So
doubt. Great message, nephew, man. And um, like you said, and just stay focused and you'll be fine. I mean, this is we all could have went other ways, man. But you didn't. You went to school, you didn't finish, but you still made something of yourself, which I'm very proud of. I
thank
sometimes I talk to you so much, and we talk about so many different stuff sometimes, and I'm over here talking, trying to help kids getting into college, and talking college, and I forget my own family, my own blood, my nephew, play D1. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like,
yeah,
I think about the percentage. I just talked about it, and that's what made me think of you yesterday. I was like, yo, the percentage, only 11% make it to college out of high school. 11% of the kids in high school play college baseball, and then only 2.1% play D1. So
yeah,
I want you to think about that, right? You know what I'm saying? So you were injured and stuff like that, but you played 2 years of Division I baseball. So again, 2.2% of all high schoolers in the 2021 class will play Division I baseball. 2.2. So I don't know if you know that, nephew, but you know what I'm saying. So
no,
right. So think about the accomplishment you have. So that's what made me think, you know what I'm saying? Because again, he's my family, he played Division I baseball, and I was like, oh, I'm mad that he ain't go Power Five. Just like I talked to all these other parents and stuff over the years, and I've been telling JC, junior college, Division I ain't everything. And here I was mad at my own nephew because he didn't go to the Power Five back in the day until I got on here and educated myself. You know what I'm saying? About the different schools, how tough it is, how I'm saying, obstacles and the grades and what kind of schools here and there. So, I'm happy and proud that I have my own, family that kind of followed in my footsteps a little bit and made it to a Division I school. So, again, I'm a head this, nephew. I appreciate you joining us, man. I know, you got things going on, and this Deborah, I appreciate you. DJ, hell yes. Find a group of peers. DJ says, find a group of peers and coaches that push you day in and day out. Surround yourself with like-minded people. This game is a
that's right.
struggle, and one bad influence can derail the most talented kid. Parents, find a coach that really pushes your kid, not just a buddy coach. Amen, DJ. All right, great
Yeah,
message. All right. And Deborah says this is good stuff, no doubt. And like I said, um, when I bring on family or I bring on guests, I was always to inform you, but I always want to kind of keep it 100 with all the get, so, we just like every other, fights and, and issues and real life stuff that again, this is my nephew, man. He could have went a lot of different places. You know what I'm saying? A lot of different places. But maybe seeing Unc up there in the league, or the passion that he had for baseball, staying focused just enough to stay out of trouble. You know what I'm saying? So, again, and my shout out to my sister, and she raised 4 kids. You know what I'm saying, on her own. You
So,
know
Mom
what I'm
Dukes.
saying? So, real life here, man. So real talk, man. So anyway,
yeah.
Saturday. All right, today is the last day. All right, midnight tonight for the showcase on Saturday. Uh, look at this guy. You know what I'm saying? So what I'm saying. So shout out to Rudy Brown over there.
What's up, Charlie Pop? What's up, Charlie Pop?
My father, I'm gonna talk about his baseball career that ended at 8 years old. But anyway, so I want to talk about Saturday. Is tonight is the last day to sign up for the showcase. So we had I think we had a nice little amount of people sign up today to finish out. Hopefully we could finish it out by midnight, and we got a nice crew of kids that is going to be coming. Good number of kids. I'm almost at the number of the max of what I thought. Whatever. So it's there. You put it out there. It's cool. And shout out to my people in Texas. You know what I'm saying? We kind of locked down that dates in Texas. So man, these things is moving. Sign up the DB4 showcase. I've had the link up there last few hours. All right, to sign up for that. Tomorrow, I will have the live at 4 p.m. I will be as I'm traveling up to the through to the showcase. I'll be traveling. I'll be on at 4 p.m. tomorrow, and hopefully we won't have no issues and stuff. So nephew, man, love you, my guy. Thank you for joining us, and
love you too, Unc.
all right, go on our fan page, go get some of that merch, and you'll see my nephew again. Sure, we got some things we working on, man. So
yeah, I hope to be a reoccurring guest.
all right. Good luck with the showcase. Can parents log in and see some of it? Brenton, I've been back and forth with that. The reason I say that is because the link I want it specific to the colleges, you know what I'm saying? So I may do it just on my fan page. So hang in there with me, Brenton. I wouldn't mind, showing just a little bit. And if the worst case scenario, I'll just show some of the highlights, on in the future. You know what I'm saying? I said yes in the beginning, but I talked to one of my guys, my video guys and stuff, just from a streaming aspect. He was like, I don't know how he would open it to the public, just make it strictly for the coaches. Okay. So I'll let you know, man. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to you, Brenton. Thank you for that question. So let's tomorrow 4 p.m. Love you guys. Nephew, have the rest of your good day. All right. And be safe out there in them streets out there in Brooklyn. All right.
Yeah, definitely. Listen, man, he's got a lot of good advice out inside and outside the game. Just a role model. Role models is important too. To have good role models in your life. I could have had the wrong role models, but I always wanted to be like him. From every. So this is really good information that he's really giving out and kicking a lot of knowledge. So appreciate you, salute you, and we just gonna continue to push the message of just the game of baseball and everything inside and outside the game.
You heard it there, and I'm out. I love you guys. Thank you,
All right,
nephew.
yo.
Love you, man.
Love.